What a just objectively racist and horrible thing to say.
Actually, a black baby is probably safer in the inner street of Chicago, in the inner city of Chicago, than in the womb of his own black mother.
I think what you meant to say is pregnant women aren't safe in Republican states. Or maybe you meant little girls aren't safe in ICE detention centers. Why are children in detention centers? Republican. Somebody like Vivek would never feel emboldened to talk like that if he felt like white voters would also feel offended too. How would he feel about children in the wombs in Fayette County where women have to drive 30 minutes to an hour in Ohio just to have a baby?
Our birth hospital closed. All pregnant moms go to Chillicothe, Clinton County, Franklin County, Clark County, or Montgomery County to birth their children. At least 30 minutes to an hour to be able to see your OB and have your child.
Are those children not safe in those women's wombs? He's not going to risk shaming women who come with the votes that he's counting on. So, ladies, we've had this struggle before and we're going to keep having it until we get in lockstep. Vote for Amy Acton, somebody who actually cares about public health, who cares and supports reproductive health of all kind.
Breaking news. Black folks are furious after Republican candidate from Ohio, Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know whether I've mentioned it right, but that is it. So he's saying that this is what he's saying. He's saying black babies are more safer in their mother's womb than in the Chicago streets.
That Republican candidate out of Ohio for governor, Vivek Ramaswamy, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, but baby, in this situation, I don't care. He did an interview where he claims that black babies are more safe in their mother's womb than they are on the streets of Chicago. What? Who are you? I don't want to say the wrong thing in this video, but these people, they stay coming for black people. All we want to do is be left alone. Your thoughts on us, just keep them to yourself. What kind of claim is that? Speaking on a community you know nothing about. Ohio. These people are just getting and sitting and doing these interviews and podcasts where they're just saying anything. And I hope no one is listening. But Ohio, do the right thing come midterms. Just do the right thing.
Vivek Ramaswamy recently went viral for saying, quote, "A black baby is safer on the inner city streets of Chicago than a black mother's womb." So the grill went to the White House to ask about those comments. Ramaswamy is Trump's endorsed candidate for Ohio governor after all. But Dr. Mehmet Oz, a Trump official filling in for the White House press secretary, never took the grill's question during the nearly 40-minute briefing. What he did answer, a question from a conservative reporter asking for his medical advice on Trump derangement syndrome.
I am concerned about folks who have focused their entire life energy on dislike of the president. It's disheartening to see people lost in that way, but it's treating stupid is really hard.
Oz also declared the president in spectacular health after 4 medical examinations in less than 2 years.
But if you look at these records, they're spectacular. You know, his cholesterol, his blood pressure, all the numbers are starting in excellent parameters. His ability, and listen, I work with him frequently. Many of you get to see him almost every day. That amount of energy and that amount of mental acuity does not exist in a vacuum. You have to have a vessel to carry it. And the president has a unique ability to just keep going at all hours of the day with remarkable strength.
Then Oz defended the administration's sweeping cuts to Medicaid and new work requirements for recipients, claiming able-bodied enrollees are watching television instead of working.
The millions of people who are able-bodied on Medicaid, on average, you're spending 6.1 hours watching television or just hanging around. Congress very wisely said, let's get you back into the workforce. Let's require you to get free healthcare coverage, to be able to work for 20 hours a week, or volunteer to make up the difference if you haven't worked 20 hours, or get an education. Just participate.
Here's what the data actually shows. According to KFF, most Medicaid adults are already working or face real barriers to employment. The Congressional Budget Office finds that new requirements won't move the needle on employment, but will leave millions without coverage. Reporting from the White House, Jaron Keith Gaynor.
This is so bad. Let us listen to what these creators are saying.
Non-Black people have gotten so comfortable with using the N-word and slurs against us that brands are actually hesitant to even take away their campaigns. Like with Huda, the reason why she laughed was because she thought it was funny, because no one has ever checked her. No one has checked her because of her proximity to Blackness. When people get away with disrespecting Black culture, Black people, Black women, etc., other people see this and they're like, okay, like, what is the big deal? Black culture, Black people, we have not really checked anyone. If a caller called in and used a slur against any other racial, religious, or sexual oriented group, her brands would be gone the next day, because any of those group members do not play about that. They don't play about that. And they will check anyone who disrespects their culture. We don't. It's such a nuanced topic. And we're like, well, you know, she did live here. She does have Black friends. Well, and it's always a if and but. When it comes to people who align themselves with Black culture, the most disappointing thing is on the Shade Room or any of these other blog sites, there's Black women who are defending her. And they're like, oh, it was just an awkward moment. Do you genuinely think if someone called in disrespecting Palestine that she would have laughed? Like, ask yourself this. If you are earnest with yourself, ask yourself this. In fact, she would have ended that stream immediately, because she would know in an instant that her brands would be gone. She would know that in that moment. It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be awkward, because then she's like, okay, I cannot play around. Genuinely don't understand how it's so easy to disrespect Black culture and Black people and it not go unchecked. Or if it does, it's only a little bit of action that's taken. But if someone uses a slur against any other racial or religious group, everyone is up in arms. Why is it so easy to disrespect Black people, but not another group? I genuinely want the same outrage that other religious, racial, sexual-oriented, cultural groups have when someone disrespects them. I want the same outrage. Why is it us that has to say something? Like, why is it us always saying, like, hey, this is not right? Like, we should have allies in every single space.
When a white person calls a black fox anyone, it's wrong. But when a black fox calls his fellow black anyone, it's okay. Right? How do you feel about the N-word? Do you think that only the Black people can say the N-word? Let us listen to what these guys are saying.
How do you guys feel about the N-word? Do you guys think that only Black people can say it?
I don't even think they should say it, because it was like used to be like disrespectful.
Are you offended if a non-Black person says it?
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm actually offended if they choose not to say it because I'm around.
Really?
Like, you're censoring yourself for what reason? You don't need permission from me.
Honestly, I just don't think it looks right. Like, if I said it right now, it just doesn't look right. You know?
Does it look right when Black people say it?
Like, either way, I just don't don't think it's just like it's not very feminine like for me to say it. Like I just like don't think it doesn't bring out my best characteristics. Like it just doesn't feel right.
Like I said earlier, I used to be like a real like Democrat, liberal type, so I would clock anybody who said it that wasn't black. But now I don't care. Then I feel like a lot of black people really don't care that much. They pretend to do it because it's like their role.
I completely agree with you. I think that if anything, you not saying the N-word because I'm around.
You want to know what white hypocrisy looks like in England? It looks like this.
Police are biased against white people, says Nigel Farage, who not long ago was urging hatred against anybody with a Polish surname, like Novak, telling me that he wouldn't want to live next door to Eastern European.
This video I made last year reminding English people how much they dislike Eastern Europeans, including the Polish. That's why they wanted them out of the country by voting Brexit. White-on-white knife crime has been a problem in England for hundreds of years. And if English people really cared about knife crime, they would have banned the use of pocket knives, which is exactly what these two white boys used to kill another white English boy in England. But instead, it makes sense for them to ban the ceremonial knife used by the Sikh community that wasn't even used in the attack on Henry.
Can you cite one instance of the use of a Kirpan knife for knife crime?
Prevention has got to be better than cure. You shouldn't be able to carry.
Is that a no?
You shouldn't be able to carry.
It just sounds a lot like a no.
And considering the absolutely barbaric nature of the English around the world, killing 500 million people, when have you ever actually heard them come out and apologise for any of it?
On behalf of the entire Sikh community, our condolences go out to the family of Henry Novak and his loved ones and friends due to the tragic loss of life that occurred on 3rd December 2025.
Also, Mr. Speaker, what's very galling is that the likes of Reform, Restore and the far right decided to politicise people's pain, attacking the Sikh community for wearing the kirpan and wanting it banned, even though the kirpan was not used.
Is kind of racist because
at this point I feel like just say it. You're an adult.
He said black people say it to black people all the time, but it's a problem when white people do it.
Gays say their slurs to gays. Girls say their slurs to girls. It's almost like in-group endearment and out-group attacks are two different things, right? Women call each other bitch affectionately all the time.
Actually, a black baby is probably safer in the inner street of Chicago, in the inner city of Chicago, than in the womb of his own black mother.
Vivek Ramaswamy should be ashamed of himself. And I know there's plenty of reasons already, but I'm going to add a truly horrific one through this video I'm about to show you. This is what Ramaswamy said while campaigning for governor of Ohio about his opponent, Dr. Amy Acton. Take a look.
We have a chance to elect a governor who, I hope I'll lay it out for you, a positive vision for our state versus a governor who has none at all other than to complain about what someone else did to her. That is the choice we face.
You know, I'm going to need a moment to compose myself from the bubbling rage that I feel inside. All right, I think I'm better. And what makes Ramaswamy's statement particularly contemptible is that he's referring to a part of Dr. Acton's life that she had no control over. A part of her life where she was forced to live in a tent with her mother as she dealt with housing insecurities and essays coming from her own stepfather. Far from trivial stuff, but that did not stop Ramaswamy from exploiting this and attacking her for it. And Dr. Acton has been very open about her traumas and the years of therapy that helped her deal with them. But that apparently didn't stop Ramaswamy in his foaming desire for power after America rejected him as a presidential candidate and Trump denied him any role in his administration, from showing a gross willingness to attack his opponent's personal traumatic past, and with that, every single person who has endured the same kind of abuse. So if you live in Ohio, I have to ask, is this the person you want to lead your state? A man who is willing to walk all over your pain for personal gain? This is the level of compassion and love that Vivek Ramaswamy has for his fellow Ohioan. With friends like this, who needs enemies?
You're a racist.
You can't call me or any black person any place in the world a racist. We don't have the power to do to white people what white people have done to us. And even if we did, we don't have that low-down, dirty nature.
So do you believe there are any good white people?
If there are, I haven't met them. Where are they?
I hope this makes you as angry as it makes us. There's a viral trend around a Natasha doll in China, a black baby stress toy. Chinese social media users are filming themselves squeezing, stretching, and brutalizing the doll for entertainment. When asked why the Natasha doll had to be black, one Chinese social media user responded that a white baby, for example, would be too human and people would feel bad for hurting it. The Natasha doll is disturbing as is, and now Chinese social media users are filming themselves with real-life Natasha dolls. There are
Vivek Ramaswamy, who's running for governor of Ohio, and just recently in this previous election, before the general, ran for president of the United States on the Republican ticket, said that black children are probably safer in the inner streets of Chicago than in the womb of their mother. When anybody hears that, they're going to have a jarring reaction like, whoa, what the, what the hell even made you think of that? But I haven't seen the numbers to know if that is even legitimate. But what makes it a wild statement to just hear flat out like that is that he was willing to make it without any numbers. That way, it just feels like a narrative to be pushed that sounds wild. That sounds wild. And I really can't believe he said it without any data. That was crazy. That was crazy, Vivek. I'm not gonna lie.
That Nigerian woman's response to being called the N-word is exactly what Black Americans are talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about, that people say that we're crazy, we're making up stuff. That's why we say it really is everybody versus us. Like, nobody likes us. So if you haven't seen, it's this black woman, well, let me not call her black, because they don't think that they're black. This Nigerian woman who is in Japan, Tokyo or something, and she's like in a fitting room or whatever, and she gets into a verbal altercation with a Asian woman, and the Asian woman calls her an N-word, and she corrects her. She says, I'm not an N-word, I'm Nigerian. Okay. Her response wasn't, how disgusting is it for you to use such a racial slur? Like, you should never call somebody a derogatory term like that. It was to correct her and say, I'm not an N-word, I'm Nigerian. We're not N-words. That's the Black Americans. That's the African Americans. I'm Nigerian. I'm not an N-word. That, like, and I tried to, like, see it like maybe it was just her saying, I'm not an N-word, I'm a proud black woman. Like, you know, but it just didn't give that. It wasn't even, it was like the audacity of calling me an N-word. I'm not a Black American. I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. Like, and that's what Black Americans talk about. And I understand people are going to say, well, not all Africans are like that. Okay, well, there's enough for us to notice a pattern. There's enough for us to notice a pattern. So if I'm not talking about you, if you're not one of those people, I'm not talking about you. But I'm talking about the ones who fit the agenda, right? And this is what we were talking about. People act like, you know, African Americans, Black Americans just make up stuff in our mind. But no, it's videos like this. And this is one of many. And it's not just Nigerians. It's Africans from all over the diaspora, right? It's, you know, Black Caribbeans. It's just animosity. Like, I don't understand. If somebody called me an N-word and my response wouldn't be, I'm not an N-word because I'm not Black American. I'm Nigerian. Come on now. Be so serious. Be serious. Like, that's, I don't know who to be more offended at. The Asian lady for being racist, because I mean, you're in Japan. They be taking pictures of Black people like they're monkeys over there in Japan and China and stuff like that. That's expected. But the Nigerian woman to be so offended to be compared to one of us, and you're Black. And let's be honest, where do you think the slaves came from? It was your ancestors selling mine, right? And now y'all mad, got animosity towards us because we got the better end of the bargain, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
In my opinion, I feel that the police are now so racist towards anyone white or English, or anyone who even looks like me. I would never dare speak to them to report crime. I would not email them or phone them. I do not trust them not to be racist towards me. And at a residents' meeting on Thursday, I was not able to come here last Thursday because I went to a residents' police meeting. I told the police straight, I will never report crime to you. I will never speak to a police person alone. I do not trust you. You are racist towards the English and white people. And we will not stand for it.
Anyway, thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks. Don't forget to subscribe See you in the next video. One love.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.